Being prepared as a coach is an absolute must as a high performer. I never want to go into any conversation without being prepared. So let me say what prepared looks like for me. First of all, it doesn't look like I'm preparing to make sure I don't get in trouble, or I'm preparing for every circumstance that might arise that I need to worry about to deal with. It's not that kind of preparation. The kind of preparation I'm talking about is very simple. How I go into coaching conversations, or how I go into coaching conversations and leading a team or into a one-on-one conversation, is I ask one simple question, which is, what is the outcome of this conversation? What is the outcome of this coaching conversation? What is the outcome of this team meeting? So another way to say that is, what is the desired outcome? What is it that we're out to accomplish? What is it that I'm out to accomplish? Am I clear on the outcome of this particular time block in my calendar with people that we're discussing something that I guess has something to do with the realization of their goals? So as a coach, I want to be very clear that in this next 60-minute meeting I have coming up tomorrow with John, who I'm coaching to lead his company, that the outcome is that John continues to be clear about his priorities moving forward, and he's empowered in having those conversations with his team. Now, I just made that up, but that's often one of the outcomes that absolutely I'm listening for in the people I coach. I'm listening for clarity of next actions and priorities. I'm listening for that they're connected to the big game that they're out to win, and I'm listening for that they're empowered in whatever actions are required for them to take between our coaching sessions, or that are requisite to put in immediately in the company given the current state of what they're dealing with. In other words, we're coaching for performance, we're coaching for team performance, and I'm clear that that's what I'm showing up for. I mean, can you imagine if you got on a coaching call and you're the coach or you're the leader? And this happens all the time. People just show up for Zoom calls, they show up in meetings, say, oh, what are we talking about? Okay, fine. That's one way to show up for a meeting. What are we talking about? I never want to go into a meeting, what are we talking about? I will find out in advance what the meeting is about, what the outcome is about, who's leading the meeting, or what the expectation is of me perhaps to participate. Am I to participate? Am I just to listen? Am I to provide feedback? Right? And I'm not doing that so that I can go in prepared to be admired because I've done a lot of prep to know the answers. No, I'm doing that so that I can locate myself at the place as a coach that I'm clear why I'm there. You see, I'm there in coaching the teams I coach to help them stay organized, to stay clear, to resolve any misunderstandings among the team. Talk about a leadership team here. If one department's not clear about the other department, we know that's going to impact performance. I help facilitate conversations where people stay aligned with the big picture. And if something's not clear, we need to get it clear. If something's confusing, we need to not make it confusing. If people are not clear on the next actions, we don't get up from the table and just think it's going to turn out. We need to deal with that. So much of the outcome that I ground myself in as a coach is to help people get that level of confidence, clarity, and precision moving forward as a high-performance team, so that the actions that we're taking week to week, day to day, month to month, quarter to quarter are connected to the championship, and we know that we've done our best thinking together to lay our best strategy and path forward together, and we're owning the path forward together. For you, you may have similar desires as a coach, that you're keeping people on track, you're keeping them clear, right? Coaching leaders has a lot to do with what I just talked about. Each of us will have obviously our own unique circumstances and teams and objectives and etc. But fundamentally, we are there to ensure that things work, right? We're there to ensure that what's getting coordinated as a team has sound thinking and logic to it. We're there to ask questions and inquire and look from the overall team purpose and goal and ask, are we missing anything? What are we not thinking about? So we can go execute. The reason we come together as teams, or the reason we come together as individuals, is to empower ourselves with clarity and confidence that we can go then execute the game. If I'm a football coach, I'm going to work with my players on the sideline and coach them on their game, how to catch the ball, how to run the routes, what the strategy is. And then they go out there and they're going to execute the game plan. We are getting together. You can think of it as a huddle. And in that huddle, like a football team huddles, we're going to devise the strategy, ensure that everyone's clear on what roles they play and where they're going to go. And then we're going to go execute that after we leave the huddle. So the point here is preparation is key for you as a leader to know what are you walking into, what's the outcome that you're going to walk out with, and then before that meeting, I do the thinking, right? Who is it I'm talking to? What is the outcome? And I think through some best ideas in advance, like here's maybe the things that we're going to deal with. Here's the current state of the company or team. Here's what I know of the person I'm coaching. If it's one-on-one, I know that they're dealing with or they're up against, and I can bring some compassion to that and understanding. And again, I'm not going into that next meeting prepared to do a lot of talking to show off that I'm prepared. I'm going to go in and listen and know where I'm located so that I can contribute where necessary and relevant to the overall purpose of that individual session or that individual meeting. The point is here, do not be a bystander. Do not just show up for things. If you're invited to something, ask some questions so that you're clear about how you can contribute. Ask questions of yourself. How do you want to contribute in that meeting? And then walk in as a leader who has something to say about why we're here and why this is important, right? Because as I've said before, no one really has time for more meetings, but we sure as heck have time for conversations that are high performance, and for conversations that empower the path forward, and for conversations that make us better leaders and have us straighten up and stand up and take different bold action. Because we're either going to take new action between this week and next week, or we're going to take the same old actions that got us where we are today. Even if today is great, you'll just have more of it unless we keep expanding. So what are the actions we need to take over the next week to be even greater, okay? To have more fun, to have more abundance, to experience the team even more. Walk into meetings like they matter. Prepare for your coaching sessions like they matter. Don't walk in unconscious. Don't walk in just waiting for the meeting to happen. Don't walk in wondering why are you there. That's a very weak and ineffective mindset to have. And great coaches and great leaders are clear why they're needed and what their contribution will be.